When I was pregnant, I was under so much pressure from social services. I didn't actually enjoy the pregnancy. I didn't actually get to bond with my son when I was pregnant. I got diagnosed with antenatal depression quite close to the end, because I was scared to bond with him, because I was scared he was going to get taken at birth, because that's how much pressure they were putting on me. The only person I had was my PA at the time. And I was homeless as well, actually. It took a while for me to get housed. If support got put in place back then, a lot of stuff might have not have gone the way it did. I didn't have any mental health support at all. I didn't have a good support network. Babies don't come out with a book. It's not exactly easy, and no one told me oh, you're gonna need to do this, you're gonna need to do that. You sit down with social workers and they go, oh yeah, we think this, we think that, but instead of them saying that, why don't they work with young people, and why don't they put in support for them instead of going, oh yeah, we think you're going to be a bad mum, we think you're going to be that. And when I was 38 weeks pregnant, they wanted to induce me at the hospital, and I remember arguing with the hospital saying I can't get induced because I've got a meeting on the Monday, and if I got a baby I can't go to this meeting. And that was to discuss about a mother and baby placement and all that, and I was really ill, but I kind of put that off because I was scared of what was going to happen if I didn't go to the meeting. He was 2 weeks late in the end because I didn't get induced. So we went to hospital. He was born Sunday and we got driven to a mother and baby placement. I never visited the placement beforehand. I didn't know the people. They came and visited me in hospital. These two random people turned up just after I had a baby, with a social worker. I was not happy. What a place to come and meet someone, and then you expect to go and live in their house and you don't actually know them. It just went downhill in placement. When I started going through the court proceedings, I needed help and support, and because I was out of my usual area, I couldn't access anything. I got told off for going to the doctors to ask for depression tablets. They told me I wasn't depressed, there was nothing wrong with me. I couldn't bond with my child. I got diagnosed with postnatal depression, but no one picked up on that in placement. They just said basically I was a bad mum and I didn't want to bond with him. It was completely different. So I had no support really. I was a Crown Court, and when you go to court and you have to leave that court and go home on your own, it's fine for social workers, but the parents, who have they got afterwards? I had no one, and all I wanted to do was go and die. I left the foster placement because we had an emergency court hearing, and I chose to leave placement because their 13-year-old son was walking around with my child in his arms in front of me, and that made a lot of tension because they were saying I was allowed contact, so 2 hours a day, and their kids would walk past me with my child and I couldn't do that. He stayed with the mum and baby placements because they fostered, and then it went to court because it was already in court proceedings. So then we was going to and from court, and the first couple court hearings I had my PA to support me, and then I moved out of county because my court still stayed. I had no one. I would have to get on a train to come home on my own, and people didn't really understand why I had no one, but you get given an adoption worker when your child goes for adoption. She's with you for 2 weeks, and they set up letterbox contact, and that's it. And there's no one to go through all the emotional stuff you go through because it is trauma, and when you don't have parents you can go and go, oh yeah, I've been through this. You have no one. It goes to court, you have contacts. So the contacts get lower and lower each time. I remember the last contact broke my heart. I literally hit the floor when he went. It was the worst thing in my life. And the last court hearing, that was just awful. Like, people don't know what it's like till you've been through it. Like, to know your child's gone and there's nothing you can do. When you go through that, like, you have no one. There's no support put in place. There's absolutely nothing. I'm quite lucky because I got an open adoption. So when he understands, like, he's adopted, I can see him. But I know people who's had their child adopted and they're with a new mummy and daddy, and they might never know they're actually adopted because they've got mummy and daddy. I think, like, they should be told at an appropriate age for the child. Like, each child will be different. But yeah, it should be up to the child to know if they want to know the parents, like their birth parents. It shouldn't be up to the adoptive parents to go, yeah, I'm not telling them. Like, my partner was amazing. The stuff I done to him when I was in crisis, oh my god, I'm surprised he's still with me. Like, if you don't have, like, a good support network, you're not going to get through it. And I know a lot of care leavers, like, don't have people they can go and go, oh yeah, this is what happened. So I moved out of county, and yeah, I got under the mental health team. I got diagnosed with emotionally unstable personality. So the first year I moved up here, I was really unstable. I was overdosing nearly every day. The local hospital just knew me, literally. Like, I would go in an ambulance and they would know me. I was off the rails. But then I started engaging, and yeah, I'm actually getting signed off the mental health team after like 4 years with them. I've had a baby. I've been signed off social services. So it just goes to show, when you engage with people and you have the right support, you can do well. But my main worry is for other people who don't get the support I've had. Like, I moved out of county and I've been given mental health support, and they helped me through the whole process with the adoption, understanding what's happened, and like my childhood past, because like, I was a care leaver, and then I've gone on and sorted my life out. But I don't think has that opportunity. The mesh program works with my health visit, and that's to build my confidence up. Because I lost all confidence with everything. I'm such a nervous mum now. They help you with, like, bathing if you need help, like, to learn how to bath your baby, like make bottles, sterilising. They come out like before your baby's born for free visits. Weaning, like, we spoke about weaning her, like, she's actually having her first food today for tea. And just stuff like that, really. And like, because I'm breastfeeding, they're really supportive with like the breastfeeding, and we have the same worker every time, and she's amazing. She's just like, we've got a really good relationship. And the thing is, when you've been through this, you need relationships because you might not trust people. And they like make sure like your hospital bag's all done, but mine was overly packed. Just silly things, like what, when you're a mum, you don't really know what to do. Say if I'm worried about something, I've got her number and I can just call her and go, right, I'm worried about this, what can I do? And she'll tell me. I think like the support, like if the parents know like social services are involved, support should be put in place like when pregnant or soon as they get involved. And there 100% needs to be support, like say if baby does get removed, because half the parents do go like doolally. It's a big thing. Like, a mum gives birth to that baby. You carry a baby for 9 months, and that baby is then ripped away from you. Like, how are you going to cope? This happened to me 5 years ago, and there's still no support 5 years later for people, and it just shocks me. Care leavers, like, half of them don't have family or parents, so why should social just drop them? They have the duty of care, and they don't do it. I think every parent deserves a chance, and instead of, like, the local authorities spending thousands of pounds on removing a child, why don't they spend thousands of pounds on actually supporting a mum to get better and get the treatment she needs to be a good mum?